It's the rats. Hello everyone, my name is Ainsley Durose and I'm a pastry chef living in Paris. And today I thought I would share with you, I guess it's not only the quintessential French summer dish, but when people think tiny Parisian kitchens, they kind of think about this dish just from the Disney movie Ratatouille. So that's what I'm making today, is a ratatouille. But just as a disclaimer to all my French viewers out there, I do know that this is not a ratatouille. This is what you call a tian. They're basically kind of the same thing. They use the same ingredients and they have the same flavor, but the way that you prepare them is a little bit different. But this is my take on, I guess, the movie Ratatouille's take on a tian. So ratatouille, tian, who knows? It's still delicious and it's a great thing to make, especially for summer, because it uses the best of summer vegetables, and that's why it's such a popular dish, because you just take all of the good produce from summer, throw it all together, and it makes such an easy, delicious summer dish. I'm just going to show you how to make my take on Ratatouille's take on a tian. So go to your local market, grab your ingredients, and let's make a ratatouille. So what makes this ratatouille different than the other typical French ones is that you make a sauce first. Otherwise, you just chop all your vegetables and you put it in the oven. That's the typical way that you would make a tian. A ratatouille you make with the same ingredients, but you just put it on the stovetop and kind of they meld all together too. But for this one, you're first going to start with the sauce, which I'm going to roast peppers, whatever bell peppers you want. I have red and yellow, and you just put them in the oven till they blacken, and then you're good to go. Just drizzle with a bit of olive oil, and then you'll just put these in a really, really hot oven. Kind of as hot as your oven can go. Put it on the highest shelf so it gets really close contact with the heat, so it kind of starts to blacken them. So next for our sauce, we are just going to blanch about 3 big tomatoes, and you're just doing this so that you can easily remove the skin. So all you do is you take your tomato, and on the bottom of the tomato you make a shallow cross imprint. You're just going to put your tomatoes in a pot of boiling water, and we're just going to blanch these for about 30 to 60 seconds, because you're not trying to cook them, you're just trying to get the skin to easily come off. So the skin will start to come away from the mark that you made, and that's when you can drain them and remove the skin. These are cooling. I'm going to move on to the rest of our sauce, which is just chop onions and garlic. And I'm also going to add, which might be controversial to some French who are watching this, but I do add a bit of carrot, just because I think carrot has a natural sweetness that kind of helps to cut the acidity of tomatoes. You don't have to be too precise with the cutting, because this will all be blended in the end. So you can kind of do a little bit of a rough chop if your knife skills aren't the best. Also, I'll do about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. I'm a big garlic fan, so you can go as crazy as you want on the garlic. So to our pot, we'll just add a bit of olive oil, and we'll add our onions and our carrot. So we'll let that completely cook down, and while that's cooking, I'll remove the skin from our tomatoes and our peppers. So our bell peppers have cooked and cooled, and what I like to do is I just remove the skin of it. I guess you could keep it, but I think it adds a bit too much of a bitterness with the blackened part. So I'll just give these a rough chop. I mean, they're basically falling apart, and we're gonna blend them up, but just a little bit of a rough chop. Now our tomatoes, the skin just peels right off. So I'll just cut the tomatoes in probably quarters. And also, if you want, you could just use canned tomatoes. During the summertime, I always have so many tomatoes, so I think it's a great way if you want to make it completely from scratch. Again, you could use canned tomatoes, but I think this is just such a great way to use the best of what summer has to offer. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tomato paste, just a little tablespoon or so. Now we'll just add all of our peppers and tomatoes to this. And I'm just going to add some salt, some pepper, and then I like to add a bit of herbe de Provence, just a little sprinkling. Now another thing I do, again, this is my version, so if it's different than yours, it is what it is, but I like to add a little bit of white wine to deglaze the bottom of the pan, since you have all those nice cooked bits that sometimes don't always get into your sauce. So I like to add a little bit of a white wine because it's summer, so you already have a white wine ready to go. So just put it in a little bit of a sauce, but not too much, otherwise your sauce will be too soupy. Just a little bit to deglaze the bottom and add a little depth of flavor, let's say. And then the rest you can drink as you're making it to feel very south of France vibes. Drinking your wine, you're making your ratatouille. Life is good. So you just want to bring this to kind of a low simmer, just to make sure that everything is cooked and soft before we blend it all together. So for about 10-ish minutes, I would say. That's good. Just going to blend this all together. I have an immersion blender. You could use this, or you could put it in a big blender like when you make smoothies or something, but whatever you have that can make it into a sauce, you can use. Just be careful. Put it on low because you don't want it to splash everywhere. So make sure to taste it and see if you need to add any more salt or pepper or any type of seasoning. If it's a little chunky, don't worry. We're going to use it for now, and then we'll strain it later for our final presentation. So if it has a little bit of chunks left, it'll be okay. Okay, ready to go. So all of my recipes for Instagram, YouTube, wherever you find my recipes on social media, I always put them in the description or pinned comment of my videos. But one of my favorite apps, which is the sponsor of today's video, is Remy. And it's an app that I've been using even before I started this whole social media thing. I used Remy because you can upload any recipe you find on social media straight to the app. So you have one easy place where you can go to see all your recipes instead of having to scroll through all of your different social media platforms. It's just in one easy place. And I'll show you how to do it. So you just download the Remy app, which looks like this. And I have all of my different recipes on here. But if you want to download straight from YouTube, say you want my macaron recipe, click on the video and you go to the share button, click on more, and you click on Remy. And there you go, it imports straight there. So you have all the ingredients, all of the steps, and then all you do is you just save it. And now you have my recipe. You can convert it into the metric or the imperial system. You can change the servings. You can add it to your grocery list. Also, even add straight from browser, or you can take a picture of a recipe, or you can even just paste it straight from the internet, or if it's your own recipe. So there's lots of different ways that you can keep your recipes all in one place. So if this sounds like a little bit of you, I'll leave the link down below in my description so that you can download the Recipe app today, and then you can save even this recipe so you always have my ratatouille recipe. So now for the fun part. We're going to slice all of our vegetables. So what I like to get, or what's traditional for it, is of course your eggplant, yellow squash, and your green zucchini, and then a couple of tomatoes. And I try to get things that are all the same size because you're going to put them all together. So if you have a huge tomato or eggplant with little squashes, it'll look a bit not great. So I try to get everything same size if I can. And also another important thing is you need a very sharp knife. You could also use a mandolin. I don't have one, and they are kind of a scary thing to use. So I prefer just a really, really sharp knife. If you have a knife that's not so sharp and you want to sharpen it, I can tell you how I do mine. Again, I'm by no means an expert. Through my own research over the years and a little bit at pastry school, we didn't really do too much chopping like they do in culinary or more savory cooking. But what you do is you want your knife to be at a 45-degree angle. So if this is 90, you just kind of go half like this. And you go from the bottom of the knife, and as you go down, it goes to the tip of the knife. And you just kind of go like this. So you just want to cut your vegetables quite thin. You don't want them too thick. Also, you don't want them too thin, because then when they bake, they all will just turn to mush. But I would err more on the caution of too thin, because if they're too thick, they won't cook. It'll take too long in the oven. And because tomatoes cook quicker than the eggplant, so err on the caution of thinner. But we're just gonna cut everything same size, and then we'll layer it into our dish. So I was just looking at my tomatoes and they seem rather juicy. You can put them on paper towel or just a light cotton cloth. And I'm just gonna try to remove a little bit of the moisture, because if it's too juicy, then it'll just be a puddle of water as it cooks. So this just makes it bake a little bit more evenly with the other vegetables. Just wanna lightly press on them. And then when you lift, should be nice and drier. They're still wet, but it's not as watery as before. So I think my tomatoes are a little bit big. So the bigger ones, I'm going to cut them in half. So now that we have our sauce ready, we have our vegetables cut, it's now time to put it all together. And what I use is this really shallow casserole. This is Le Creuset. But if you have like a skillet or some other type of really shallow casserole, it'll work as well. Anything that's round, oval, or circle, just something like this. That's also why the tian gets its name, is because of the dish that you use. They call it the tian dish. So to the bottom of your dish, you're just gonna put a little bit of the sauce, and this just helps the vegetables not stick to the bottom and to the edge. But you don't want to put too much of the sauce, because then it'll be too much moisture, because the vegetables are already gonna have lots of moisture that will leak out of them. So just a little bit, just so that it doesn't stick. So now all you have to do is just layer them. So you take tomato, take one of your courgettes, and a squash, and your eggplant, like this, and then we just layer them in our dish and we'll go all the way around and into the center. So, another game of patience. So now I'll just put a little bit of olive oil on top with a little bit of salt. Make sure that the vegetables don't burn. What I like to do is I put a bit of parchment paper on top of it, and it just kind of helps to slowly roast the vegetables and make sure that they stay intact and they don't become too mushy. Keep their shape and their color, and they look very nice. And I kind of undercook just a little bit so that you can kind of still have the texture. It's not just all a big pile of mush. It also keeps the color, keeps it a little bit more vibrant. Otherwise it can kind of get a bit too brown. And so just a little bit of parchment, and then we'll put it in the oven for about 45 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, or about 350 Fahrenheit. While we're waiting for the ratatouille to cook, I am going to, I guess you don't have to do this, but for my perfectionism, what I like to do is I like to strain the sauce, because we're gonna plate the ratatouille just as it was in the Disney movie. And to do that, I think it needs a really perfectly smooth sauce. So I'm just gonna strain it and we'll be ready to go. You can just serve it as is. Since we are trying to replicate the Disney Pixar ratatouille, what you need is a plate, preferably an old vintage French one, and just a little ramekin. This is about 3.5 inches, or about 9 centimeters, and then 5.5 centimeters, or 2.25 inches tall. But you could really use any size that you want. You can get these online for rather cheap. I'll link some down below if you can't find any, but they're just a metal round mold that you can also bake in. You can use it for a lot of things in pastry, so they are very useful. So this is not just a one-time purchase, it's useful for pastry. Put it in the center and make sure that they're fanned out against the mold. And then we're just gonna take our sauce and just delicately put it around on the plate. And then, like the movie, one singular chive. Et voila, the not ratatouille tian. Let's taste it. It's just like summer, I think, in the dish. All of the best vegetables. And again, I didn't cook it too long, so it still has a bit of a bite to it, which is nice. But again, this is also not for a main dish. This is usually a side dish. But I baked some bread this morning, so it goes very well with bread, so you can get all of the sauce. But it'd be nice with any type of grilled meat or fish, or like a wheat or a lentil or something would go well with it. Or if you just want this, I think it's also perfectly nice and light for summer. But I hope Mr. Remy, the ratatouille, would approve. I know Lola does. Right? Well, thank you for watching today's video for Ratatouille with my little rat. But I hope you enjoyed today's video and you've learned the difference between a ratatouille and a tian. And I hope if it's summer where you are, you're able to make this dish. And if you do, I'd love to see your pictures. I like seeing when people remake. If you liked today's video, then let me know what other type of fun dish you'd like to see me make. But till then, Lola and I hope you have a lovely day, and till next time.